Broadcasting live on the UnitedWest.org AM radio network, simulcasting on DirecTV, iHeartRadio, Roku, and the World Wide Web, this is Enemies of the State with Tom Trento.
What a great time to be alive. I mean, really. If you think about it, we're 70 days. How many weeks is that? 10 weeks? 7 days? Yeah. 10 weeks away from determining whether the world will fall apart or not. Western civilization, as many of you know, founded upon Greek thought, founded upon Roman thought, the philosophers. Then an integration with Jewish thought in the Jewish scriptures. And then an integration into Christian thought. This was the stew from which your life, your opportunities, your understanding of truth, of reality has grown. If you're in a Western country, I know we have a lot of people in non-Western countries that watch what we do. But Western civilization will take a dramatic turn, one direction or the other, 70 days from today, August 30th, Tuesday, 2016. Tom Trento, your host. Enemies of the State is our show, and we thank you for watching every day, noon. Like us, like the show, click the little like thing, share it, tell your friends about it. You have the capability now to watch and get involved with us. And as I've related many times, we have to raise a little more money. You can help us with that. We're always in need of donations. A little more money. We're going to be able to have you guys call in live or communicate live, one way, shape, or form, with us during the shows, probably expand a little bit, interact with you. It's going to be a live Facebook talk show, but on TV, just like this. Pretty cool. And we may even be able to Skype you in, those of you who want to be Skyped in. Good guys or bad guys, we don't care. We're equal opportunity communicators here. But the 70 days I'm referring to is November 8th, 2016, and we're going to pick either Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. And there's a whole variety of issues. And as a conservative, we talk about Ronald Reagan's historic three-legged stool. Ronald Reagan said to have a stable society, a stable culture, you need a stool with three firm legs, so it's planted. And one of those legs are the cultural or social issues. The society needs to be informed and in agreement that certain cultural norms are minimally acceptable to everyone. And there's a cultural battle going on right now from everywhere from whether we put old people to sleep, euthanasia, youth meaning good, thanatos meaning death, good death, we give them a happy death, whether or not Adam and Steve can get married and adopt children and these are the cultural battles going on. Second cultural battle is the economic battle. Whether or not an individual is primarily responsible for themselves to work and earn a wage and do something with it. There's the three-legged broken stool. Or whether or not a better way of constructing a society, Hillary's way, is those who have worked very hard historically and built huge fortunes now have an obligation to share that fortune with those who are either less fortunate or simply don't want to work that hard. There's a redistribution of wealth. That battle's taking place. Those are the two legs of the stool, cultural and economic. The third leg is security, national security. And there's two components to that. There's foreign security, protecting ourselves in other lands as we travel, and homeland security. And a subset of homeland security is whether or not we will buy into the Hillary Clinton modality of essentially a globe that's borderless. Many of the Bernie Sanders supporters supported a borderless culture, a borderless globe, where we're all members of the human race, not necessarily Swedes or Africans or Afghanis or Americans. We're all humans. And we all should have the capability to move about as we choose. Or the Ronald Reagan view was, no, there's national lines. Our nation has been constructed on policies and principles unique and distinct from Afghanistan or Africa, for that matter, and ours are better, we have argued. Well, that's coming into debate 70 days from today. I want to camp for a couple of days, starting today, Tuesday the 30th, and looking at Wednesday the 31st, and Thursday the 1st. Tomorrow, Donald Trump is going to define his policy on immigration and deporting and all of that. So I want to camp today and maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, on the issue of immigration. Just a simple primer. We're just going to throw out some thought-provoking things for everyone to consider, and then we'll go there from there. But the bottom line in Donald the Deporter, that's what everybody's thinking. Donald Trump's going to deport little kids and mothers and rip them out of their families. And there's a Mexican guy serving a hot dog. He's going to grab him by the back of his neck and drag him out of there. There's some Italian kid who's been here too long on his visa. He's going to school, and send him back to Sicily where he belongs.
Beat him over the head first.
Get him out of here.
Beat him over the head, yeah.
Well, let me construct a problem that we have. And from that problem, we'll try to come up with a solution. One of the problems is the problem of this. This is our fancy high-line, heavy-duty graphic program we have here. Problem of criminal immigration. It's often referred to as illegal immigration, but it's certainly criminal, and we'll refer to it as criminal immigration. Now, we have to be objective in identifying what the problem is. We can't say, though there's quite a few in our country who would like to say, somebody who enters this country against the laws of the country is not a criminal. That's what the Hillary crowd wants to say now. They're in need and whatever their reasons are, but they're certainly not a criminal, and it shouldn't be illegal, or certainly not the way it is now. So we have a problem of criminal immigration. And here's the problem. The problem's between two groups of people. On this side, this symbol that I've drawn represents stupid people, and this side represents smart people. And there is a cultural clash between stupid people on immigration and smart people on immigration. Now, who are the stupid and who are the smart? Glad you asked. Here we go right here. I'm going to define the stupid person, symbolized by the googly eyes, the crazy mouth and hair, and the smart person by the smiley face. On the stupid side of the equation, we have individuals that operate primarily in a subjective manner. Their understanding of life is subjective. That is, they're not concerned primarily with fact, they're concerned with feelings. Moreover, and conversely, on the smart side, we have individuals that operate objectively. They say facts ought to determine feelings, not the other way around. The dumb people say no, feelings will interpret the facts the way we want to, because everything's relative anyway, and my feelings are what's most important. Going down the stupid side, these people are leaning toward a globalist view of the world, that nation states and nation borders simply are hate speech personified. A fence is a physical form of hate speech, because if the fence wasn't there, you'd have somebody saying, you can't come in here. So the people on the stupid side, globalists, say no fences, no hate speech. Everybody can kind of float around, do what they want to do. On the smart side, Goofus and Gallant, if you remember from highlights, on the smart side, they're saying over here, no, nations are a real thing. Cultural people and tribes are unique, joined together for specific reasons, and have a common bond. The common bond in the United States is the Constitution. And if somebody wants to come in and play, they got to minimally agree to the Constitution. You can't have a Muslim jihadi that doesn't believe in the Constitution come in and say, I'm going to change things without impunity. I mean, there's got to be a response, not for these guys. And then over here, in terms of economics, the dumb people on this side believe that if there's 10 cows and they only have one and the other people have 9, the people with 9 cows need to share the cows with the people that only have 1 cow. And on this side, people say, no, we worked real hard for the 9 cows. You were smoking dope and hanging out and didn't want to go to school, wanted to be a protester, and now you're making $2 an hour doing nothing. So you are experiencing the consequences of your behavior. Those are the 2 viewpoints when it comes to the issue of immigration. This is the divide right here. The country's divided just like that, and it's going to be determined in the next 70 days. But wait, the problem gets worse. The problem is to the third power because of this situation. Anybody know what that is? My artistic rendering?
No, because you didn't give me those graphics beforehand, Tom, so I don't know what they are.
You want to take a stab at who that is?
Donald. The Donald.
That's Donald. Hey, that's not bad. I kind of got the hair right.
Yeah, you got the hair right.
This cultural problem over here is to the third power now because of Donald Trump. Why? Why is it because of Donald Trump? Because let's go back to, I ripped the paper up, but let's go back to this problem here, all right? Where we have people that operate subjectively. They look at Donald Trump and they hear his words, they don't like his words, they get mad at him because he's a New York kind of wise guy at times, and they go, I don't care what he's saying, I'm mad at him, therefore he can't be right. So Donald Trump's persona does not jive with the subjective socialist globalists, and now the whole thing gets more complex. A complex problem, immigration, gets more complex because of a personality issue, not necessarily a factual issue. Why do I say not necessarily a factual issue? Well, let me illustrate the problem factually, objectively, from 1996. I'm going to show you a very short video of a gentleman in 1996, January 20th, giving the State of the Union address for the United States of America, circa 1996. Listen to this guy talk about immigration.
One of these areas is the problem of illegal immigration. After years of neglect, this administration has taken a strong stand to stiffen the protection of our borders. We are increasing border controls by 50%. We are increasing inspections to prevent the hiring of illegal immigrants. And tonight I announce I will sign an executive order to deny federal contracts to businesses that hire illegal immigrants. Let me be very clear about this. We are still a nation of immigrants. We should be proud of it. We should honor every legal immigrant here working hard to be a good citizen, working hard to become a new citizen. But we are also a nation of laws.
Oh my, I almost want to play that 1,000 times for all the Hillary people.
I thought that, was that Trump? I couldn't recognize, my eyes are a little blurry. Was that Trump speaking?
I wanted to put Trump's picture up there and play that audio.
We can do that, Tom. Hold on. You know what? Let's do that.
We probably should do that and have everybody, protesting him and Green Lives Matter and, he's a hater. Listen to him. He wants border patrol. He wants police. He wants fences. He wants all of this stuff. It's Bill Clinton, ladies and gentlemen, in 1996. He signed the 1996 Illegal Immigration Reform and Immigrant Responsibility Act of 1996 that essentially forms the law for how the United States views immigrants, illegal and legal immigration. Are you?
Let's play that again. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead. Here we go. Here's Donald, hateful.
One of these areas is the problem of illegal immigration. After years of neglect, this administration has taken a strong stand
we gotta make this
to
video
stiffen
and
the
send it
protection of our borders. We are increasing border controls by 50%. We are increasing inspections to prevent the hiring of illegal immigrants. And tonight I announce I will sign an executive order to deny federal contracts to businesses that hire illegal immigrants. Let me be very clear about this.
Hold on, that's
we are
almost done.
still a nation of immigrants. We should be proud of it. We should honor every legal
The
immigrant
best-
here working hard to be a good citizen,
Right.
working hard to become a new citizen. But we are also a nation of law.
Mark, we have to cut. We absolutely, when this show's over, we're going to cut. I'll do a little intro and say, we got a sneak preview of Donald Trump's speech defining immigration. We'll do that, then we'll show Bill Clinton at the end. And it's brilliant. Hey, look, ladies and gentlemen, all Trump is saying is we got to follow the law. If we follow the law, then his bluster and hyperbole about taking people out and sending them out will actually happen because it's the law of the United States of America, as eloquently explained by our President Bill Clinton
And that's the law Bill Clinton wrote right behind your head.
20 years ago. What happened, and I was involved in the 104th Congress. This was the 105th Congress. I helped some people run for that. That was when Newt Gingrich was dealing with Contract with America. There's the law, 252 pages, the Illegal Immigration Reform, Immigration Responsibility Act, 1996. We had a Republican Congress. There were two bills in Congress. One was on legal immigration, and one was on illegal immigration. There was a huge battle, and like with any law, you've got a compromise cut here and there. And the country wanted reform to all the illegal immigration that was going on. Absolutely wanted reform in 1996. And Bill Clinton also wanted it. He got forced into it a bit because we had two houses at that point. But he was able to negotiate and keep in the law the fact that money would be used to send illegal criminal aliens' children to school. Some of the folks did not want that to happen. They said, no, we can't keep doing this. But that got in there. And in 1996, Bill Clinton signed the law in September. Now, the speech he gave is in January. January of 1996. He signed it into law September. And what we're going to do over the next couple of days, we're going to go through this law, and we're going to compare it to Donald Trump's plan. And your eyes, lefties, your eyes, globalists, your eyes, socialists, are going to pop out of your head because Donald Trump's plan is an articulation of the 1996 Act actually being followed. What's happened, if you can put that chart up, that ICE chart, over the past 8 years of President Obama, interesting phenomenon has happened. President Obama, because of a tremendous amount of pressure by conservatives and the fact that it's obvious uncontrolled borders are destroying our country, he started tightening down on people trying to get into the country. Now follow me closely. The next few days we'll detail this in a classroom style. Once this Illegal Immigration Reform and Immigrant Responsibility Act of 1996 was signed, the legal concept of deportation was removed from the legal annals of our country. Two new words were put into play. The two new words were right here. Before 1996, a person trying to get in our country was either excluded from coming in when he tried to come in, or deported once he came in. That language, those terms changed with the 1996 law that a person was returned at the border or removed if he was inside the country. So the concept of deportation isn't a legal concept anymore per the 1996 law. Most people don't know that. But the media and even politicians still use the term deportation when the proper term is removed. You're being removed from our country. And there's a lot of reasons why those terms were chosen over deportation. But everybody still refers to it. If we show you the ICE chart where when President Obama comes into office, he increases the returned people trying to come into the country. He actually firmed up the border somewhat, certainly not to the degree it needs to be, but returned over 1 million people in his 8 years to the horror of the leftists and the Democrat Party. But he did not continue as President Bush was doing on the removal side, removing those criminal aliens that are here. They're breaking the law, they're criminals. Simply because they do a good job cutting your lawn doesn't change the fact that they're criminals. And tomorrow, I will show you the waiting list. You're not going to believe. Do you have the wait list there for them, Mark? To give them a sneak peek into the waiting list in the United States right now, people waiting to come into this country. Take a look at this. You talk about fairness for a criminal who a year ago illegally came into this country, and he's illegally working under the table, he or she, earning money that somebody else could be earning and paying tax money, sending that money back to typically Mexico, that's where most of the people are coming from, and making a mockery of our laws when in Mexico alone, 1,300,000, and this is as of 2014, 1,323,978 very good Mexicans are waiting in line to legally come into America. They don't want to say, I'm not going to do the coyote thing. I'm not going to go there illegally. That's not who I am. I try to follow the law. I want to follow the law in America. America's welcoming foreigners. I'm going to do it the right way. They're waiting in line. But this slime bag, who probably robbed their house anyway, comes through the tunnels or through the Rio Grande or wherever he comes through, and now bleeding heart liberals just look at that person. Oh, look, he had a baby with some girl, and now the baby's here. Now it's even more. See how the dopey people think subjectively, not objectively? And now they want to take our money and say, we got to pay for that baby. And over 1.3 million very good Mexicans are waiting in line to come here legally. These are the factual issues that Donald Trump is trying to get out. It's very difficult when you're doing soundbite presentations. You can't get into the meat of the things, but we're going to get into the meat of the things. Just go down this list for a second. 400,000 in the Philippines waiting. 323,000 from India in line. From Vietnam, where I was for a few weeks, 259,000 Vietnamese trying to come here. Dominicans, Bangladesh, Haiti, Pakistan, El Salvador.
What do we Pakistan? We got
116,000
from Pakistan waiting to come. Why are we allowing people from Pakistan with our no vetting program? Why are we doing that?
That's a great question.
And also Iran. Why is there 50,000 from Iran wanting to come in with our no vetting program?
That's a great question.
And
that's a great question that we'll answer in the days ahead. But suffice for today, these people over here are patiently waiting in line in the system. Their name is there, they're processed, they paid their money, they have their papers, and they're waiting. People in Mexico have to wait 2-3 years. In India, it's a 10-year wait to get into America. Sorry, folks. Go to some other country if you don't want to wait in line for America. It's that simple. You have no right. You have no right. There's not a constitutional right for us to let people in who aren't citizens of the country but want to be citizens. There's nowhere in the Constitution that says if somebody wants to be a citizen, you got to let them in your country, and you got to pay them, and you got to make other people not work. You know, on and on and on. So, how do we solve this problem? We'll do that in the next few days. We'll solve the whole problem. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals said that The most complex legal issue in America is the federal IRS code. The next most complex problem in America is the immigration law. That's 252 pages right there. But putting this cultural divide back together, 70 days, a bunch of dopey people are going to go to the polls, and a bunch of smart people are going to go. And right now, it's a race. If we're racing this way, I think the dopey people are in the lead, because most of America are people who buy into a sob story, don't look at things factually. We're building our country for the next generation and generations to come. You got to be smart about it. 70 days, what are you going to do? See you tomorrow.